Come on, Tanya. All you have to do to be vegan is avoid virtually all of the foods that the rest of us enjoy on a daily basis. It's not that hard. Meet my maker. Going vegan made me lose weight and feel great until I ended up in hospital needing a blood transfusion. If you're already mad just hearing that headline, please take a deep breath and remember that number one, this is the Sun, so of course the headline's going to be terrible. Number two, the person that they're referring to, Tanya Mimpress, she did not publish this, right? I mean, she wrote something, but ultimately Karen Pascali-Jones publish the final product. It's Karen's job to make this piece as sensational and clickbaity as possible. And number three, Tanya almost died, so let's kind of try and show a little bit of compassion. So Tanya went vegetarian in 2014 and then vegan in 2017. She lost a bunch of weight, going from 217 pounds down to 157 pounds in 6 months. So that's 10 pounds a month. She was able to get off of her asthma inhaler. Her skin cleared up and she just generally felt better. That is until she started feeling worse. She started to feel tired, her hair started thinning, and by February 2018, she was severely anemic, and it just got worse from there. But within 48 hours, I was doubled over in pain with bloody diarrhea. I rushed to A&E where they said I had symptoms of bowel or ovarian cancer and sent me for a scan, but nothing showed up. She kept getting worse, and so she decided to try to improve her diet, try to get more nutrients by eating green vegetables and chickpeas and soy. That didn't work, and eventually her diet had been whittled down to just mash and soy milk tea. Finally, after fainting while out shopping, she went to see a doctor again. I was so severely anemic, my organs weren't getting enough blood and were at risk of shutting down. It was at the hospital that I had my life-saving blood transfusions, as well as an iron transfusion. A week later, a doctor finally looked at her food diary and thought that it might be soy. Soy might be causing the problems. After eliminating and reintroducing it to my diet, we realized I was severely intolerant and it was making my intestines bleed, which had caused the clots and upset stomach. I'd probably always been allergic, but hadn't really eaten much of it before I became vegan, and soy formed most of my diet. Her doctor told her to start eating meat, and so she did, and she's feeling much better. So I actually asked about this on YouTube and Twitter and Patreon, whether or not you guys wanted me to make a video about this whole thing, and it wasn't so much the enthusiastic yes that I got, but more so some of the comments that I received that ultimately led me to make this video. This is ridiculous. I'm allergic to soy and have been vegan for nearly a decade. It's hard, but it can definitely be done. I think it was a bit stupid of her to blame it on veganism when it was the soy allergy. Not saying it would not suck to be vegan with a soy allergy, it would. OMG, this poor girl just needs to stop eating soy. She was obviously suggested iron supplements but didn't want to take them, so she blames the vegan diet. I understand it must be super hard to try and be vegan with these kinds of allergies, but it probably wouldn't be impossible. Also, veganism doesn't equal soy. And there are many more like this, essentially saying that all she had to do was give up soy, that she wasn't trying hard enough, that she was just blaming the vegan diet for her own mistakes. So before I get into why I think those comments are so wrong, I do want to talk about some of the mistakes that Tanya made beyond eating soy, obviously. Not because I want to put her through the ringer or anything, but because I think these are mistakes that are worth talking about, just in terms of kind of talking about good nutrition and diet. It's good information for anyone trying to be vegan, or really anyone in general. First, 60 pounds in 6 months is a lot of weight. It's generally not recommended to go over about 10 pounds. That's kind of the max. You're looking at no more than about 2 pounds per week, which would be about 8 to 10 pounds per month. Even if she were exercising regularly, she would have to eat a very, very low calorie diet in order to achieve this, in order to consistently lose that much weight over, such a short period of time. So assuming a height of 5'6" and moderate exercise 3 to 5 days a week, I got between 1,096 and 1,417 calories per day, just depending on the calculator. Obviously, if she's shorter than that, or if she doesn't work out, the number is going to be even lower. It's going to be really, really hard to meet nutrient needs on that few calories. And many of us, I'm amazed that Tanya was able to do it for that long, but You know, many of us are going to be super hungry. We're going to end up rebounding. We're possibly going to end up gaining all the weight back, even more than that. Second, drinking tea with meals is not recommended, particularly for vegans, since it inhibits iron absorption. Calcium as well. It also inhibits iron absorption, so you do want to be careful about drinking like calcium fortified plant milks with meals. Some of them do contain a fair amount of calcium. Not all of them. You kind of have to look at the brands. It varies between brands. It even varies within brands. I think Silk, they have different amounts. Like there's a different amount for the unsweetened versus the sweetened. And then even the vanilla, I think, has a different amount. So be sure to check the labels. Third, it's recommended to work with a health professional, with a dietitian, if you are going on some sort of elimination diet. I mean, obviously, any health professional will tell you that a diet of potatoes and tea with soy milk is not adequate. But really, anytime you're going on, you know, something like a low FODMAP diet, which is fairly extreme, you're cutting out a lot of foods, it is a really good idea to talk to a dietitian. Fourth, there are better sources of iron than steak, than beef. Organ meats like beef liver are really, really good sources. Oysters are even better sources, just from an ethical standpoint, since they very likely are not sentient. You do want to be a little bit careful with them, though, because they are insane sources of zinc. Fifth, constipation and iron supplementation. This can be mitigated. I have intimate knowledge of this because I have been iron deficient numerous times in the past. Unfortunately, doctors will often just prescribe you this huge iron supplement and tell you to take it with food, and that's it. And for some of us, that just doesn't work. You still deal with digestive issues. And so I found for me what worked was taking smaller doses, like 3 times per day with food still. And that just completely eradicated any constipation, any problem for me. So if you are iron deficient, if you're dealing with this, if you've been prescribed iron by your doctor, this may be worth talking about with them. Also, taking smaller doses. The pills are a lot smaller too. That's another thing that can be a huge problem for a lot of us. We just can't even swallow pills that are that big. If you get the like smaller, 65 milligram, they're pretty tiny. Tiny to me. I mean, I don't have any problem even with like giant. You should see the choline pill that I take. The thing is enormous. I can swallow it dry. I don't know, man. It's just the taste of some of them. Like the Deva pills, the Deva multi and the prenatal. Oh my God, they are so nasty. Man, they are nasty. It's not as bad as I think it's the Amazon brand. I got their vegan multi or whatever just to try to see if it's better. And a lot of people said, oh, it doesn't have any weird smell or taste or whatever. Oh my God, it is the worst by far smelling vitamin I've ever tried in my life. Did I actually take one? I think I did, and I almost vomited. No, never. And lastly, obviously, if you are struggling with some health concern, go see your doctor. You're not bothering them. It's their damn job. It is their job to help you. Now, Tanya does clarify in the comments that she didn't go because they just weren't taking her seriously, that she kept trying to get help, but no one was taking her seriously, which unfortunately is a thing that happens for a lot of women and a lot of minorities as well. This was actually a video topic recently on, I always say John Oliver. What is it actually called? Last week tonight? And so back to the comments. I'm gonna roast you. I've never said roast in my entire life. Feeling weird about it. Anyway, so first, it's obvious that it wasn't just soy. In the article itself, it talks about other food intolerances that she has, although even that is not a complete list. Second, she did attempt to take iron supplements, but as it says in the article, they made her constipated. And actually, again, that's not totally complete. There's more to it than that, a lot more to it than that, as she explains in the comments. Speaking of the comments, they are by far the most illuminating part of this whole piece, this whole article. I think it's a good idea whenever there's something like this, particularly if it's posted somewhere like The Sun or Daily Mail, somewhere like that. it's probably a pretty good idea to go down to the comments to see if the person who's being discussed is there, maybe talking about things and maybe clarifying things, as is the case with this. Tanya is actually in the comments. She left several comments talking more about what went on. She left numerous comments explaining that she tried various iron supplements to no avail, that her food intolerances are way worse than soy, kidney beans, chickpeas, and green beans. I cannot eat any beans or peas, not even hummus or mushrooms, and have to tread very carefully with onions and berries. She's also on medication to help manage her condition, so it wasn't just like miraculously fixed by steak. She is on some medication as well. Speaking of steak, this article, or what she gave to them, what Tanya gave to them, was written a couple of months ago. She says today she eats meat only 1 to 2 times per week. Finally, it's very clear that she does not want to paint veganism as the cause of all of her problems. I tried reiterating over and over that veganism is great for many reasons, but that it's currently incompatible with my stupid innards. But well, think about where you're reading this. So yeah, there's a lot more information in the comments that make it crystal clear, at least to me, that Tanya did the right thing by listening to her doctor and incorporating meat back into her diet. I mean, even barring the comments, even just looking at the article, I think it's pretty clear that she should not be vegan, or at the very least, it would be very, very difficult for her to be vegan. I mean, soy, chickpeas, kidney beans, green beans, like 2 of those are staple foods for many of us. Man, you're taking soy and chickpeas away from me? That's rough. But some people still are not convinced. Some of the responses to her comments clarifying just how many foods she cannot eat, that non-heme iron makes her intestines bleed, that she barely eats any meat now, that she only eats meat 1 to 2 times per week. For some people, it still just is not enough. Obviously, Tanya's experience is not the norm. I believe that most of us can eat a vegan diet perfectly fine. We can do perfectly fine on a vegan diet as long as we start slowly, right, to minimize gas and bloating and all that kind of stuff, and follow a balanced diet with enough protein and fat and supplements. But it is insane to deny that people like Tanya exist, that they're just making it up, or that they didn't try hard enough. Like, come on, Tanya. All you have to do to be vegan is avoid virtually all of the foods that the rest of us enjoy on a daily basis. It's not that hard. Why can't we accept that veganism doesn't work for everyone? Why is that such a big deal? If it's a health argument, if that's why you're vegan, or at least just part of the reason why you're vegan, then I get it. If you believe that animal products are unhealthy and that the healthiest way to eat is vegan, that everyone is healthiest on a vegan diet, then obviously someone like Tanya existing proves you wrong. It behooves you to believe that Tanya is lying, or that she just didn't try hard enough, that she didn't do everything possible, that she didn't eat high carb, low fat, or she didn't drink enough green juices or whatever. She just didn't eat the vegan diet appropriately, and if she had, then she'd still be vegan. Yeah, it makes sense that you would want to believe that. But to those who are in it for like ethical and or environmental reasons, and you're still like looking to throw Tanya under the bus, I don't get it at all. Not once in the article does she try to, she doesn't make any ethical claim. She doesn't, claim that her diet is the same ethically as a vegan diet. It's actually a nice change from most of these that we see, most of these ex-vegan accounts where, they'll talk about meat and then they'll say, well, it's ethically sourced though, right? Like she doesn't say that at all. She makes it clear that she's not happy about doing this, that she wishes she didn't have to eat meat, but she has to for her health. The bottom line, 1, Tanya is obviously healthier eating how she's eating now. 2, she risks a lot of pain and more damage by changing it. And 3, she's still eating predominantly plants. And we shouldn't feel threatened by any of this. I mean, look, the fact that someone with as many food intolerances as Tanya can still manage to eat meat just 1 to 2 times per week is actually amazing. If she can do it, then like all of us can do it. So did a vegan diet almost kill Tanya? I mean, yes. She went vegan and as a result stopped consuming heme iron and started consuming a lot of soy, and these were the two things predominantly that caused her problems. But obviously that doesn't mean that giving up animal products and eating soy is going to cause these problems for the vast majority of us. A headline like, "I have a lot of food intolerances, so I couldn't stay vegan," probably isn't as catchy. Also, it's the fucking sun. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know any other video topics that you would like to see. I don't know what I'm doing. Subscribe, that's cool. Support the channel, patreon.com/unnaturalvegan, and I will have a new video soon. This bra is killing me. It's too big now. This is the problem. Like, I'm in that spot now where this bra is too big, but the next size down I have is still too small, and there's no way in hell I'm buying the one in the middle, because there is one in the middle that I could buy, but there's no way in hell I'm not spending $70-something on another bra. I either need to gain a little bit more weight or I need to lose a little bit more weight so I can wear the smaller bra. Obviously, the former is a lot easier, but I don't, I'm good and I want to lose maybe a couple more pounds because I'm still kind of at the high end of where I want to be, like 138. That's really once I get to 138, I try to get down a few more pounds because I don't really like being heavier than that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to just do it so I can wear the other bra, because it's like now it's digging into my armpits and it's all sticking out here. Oh, it just feels terrible. Not as bad as when it's too small. I mean, that's the worst, but it still sucks. Am I complaining that I lost weight? Oh my god, shut up. Oh, something I just thought of, the Impossible Burger. The Impossible Burger is the one plant product that has heme iron. I've talked about the Impossible Burger before, and PETA actually. Do I have two? No. I think I only have one video about it, but you can check that out if you want. That obviously would be a good option, but obviously not as available as steak. Also, in vitro meat, or I guess we're not calling it clean meat. Now we're calling it cultivated meat, I think. I think maybe that's the term that we've landed on. I don't know. I love in vitro meat. I love lab meat. I know it doesn't work for a lot of people. I know, I'll stick with clean meat or cultivated, god damn it, cultivated meat. So yeah, this is another great argument for cultivated meat, right? It's not just, obviously, most people, they could be vegan, but hey, it's hard, people want to eat meat. Okay, fine, whatever. Here's some, cruelty-free meat, right? But also there are people like Tanya who would love to be vegan, but they just can't, and they got really sick because of it. I mean, that makes me so sad. It's like vegans getting sick because they got bad information. It's like the people who are actually trying, I don't know, I can't imagine how upsetting it is to just try to do the right thing, and then you're like, the universe punishes you for it, like that sucks so hard. So yeah, we gotta fight for more cruelty-free heme options.